Hey, basketball card collector and investor friends, Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. Very excited to bring you something called Basketball Card Battles, which I have been tossing around in my mind for quite some time. I hope it's something that you're going to find entertaining and informative. I don't want to make any enemies, but ultimately, at the conclusion of the video, I will choose. Today's first battle is between recently sold 2020, 2021 Panini National Treasures, Lamelo Ball, RPA, numbered to 99, as you can see on the screen, with an incredible patch. It's a BGS 9 with a 10 auto. The subgrades you can see. Versus, and that card sold, when we check our stats here, that card sold for $57,600. So that's in the red corner. In the blue corner, we have the Hakeem Olajuwon. At the time, he was known as Akeem without the H. Olajuwon, 1986 Fleer, PSA 10, card number 82, which recently sold on eBay for $5,450. So for these basketball card battles, we're always going to equate the value. And so in this instance, if we use a $54.50 sale price for the Olajuwon, there would be 10.5 Olajuwons. The $54.50 seem low, so I'm going to go ahead and use the average sale price of this Olajuwon PSA 10 over the last 30 days, which is $7,293. That's the average sale price for Olajuwon across all platforms, which gives us a range somewhere between 7.5 to 10.5 Olajuwon PSA 10s to equal the value of the Lamelo Ball sale. So let's use 9, okay? And so that's why you're going to see these 9 Olajuwons versus this one Lamelo Ball card. All right, first let's talk a little bit about the Lamelo card. It sold at the PWCC Premier Auction. A tremendous positive is that the card is obviously numbered to 99. We know there's 99 of them in the world. This is in a BGS 9, which is a good grade for a thick card, a patch card. We know those cards don't grade quite as well. 28 have ever been graded by BGS. Only 2 9.5s, no BGS 10s. And so this card falls as a BGS Pop 19. On the flip side, you've got the Olajuwon. It is a Pop 327. Which is significantly more than 19. So advantage Lamelo Ball there. Gem percentage. The Olajuwon has a 4.1% gem rate. It is not a rare card. As most of you know, 1986 Fleer was very substantially produced back in 1986. About 8,000 Hakeem Olajuwon rookie cards have been graded by PSA, but only 327 have gotten the Gem PSA 10 designation, so 4.1%. There is no gem percentage. Well, there is a gem percentage, but it does not apply to this Lamelo Ball because it's not a gem mint. It's just a mint. So advantage Olajuwon there on the gem percentage. Moving on, the Lamelo Ball card hails from what I think most would consider the at least highest end or most highly sought after modern Panini era product. The National Treasures sort of took the ball from exquisite and ran with it to the best they could. I think most people would agree if this is not the highest end product, it is certainly in the upper echelon. So that is a huge advantage for the Lamelo Ball card. The 1986 Fleer set, however, some would say it is the greatest set of all time, certainly the greatest basketball set of all time. 1961 Fleer is in the conversation, 69 Tops is in the conversation, but I think most people would agree 1986 Fleer is the most collectible and the most collected basketball card set of all time, arguably the greatest set of all time across all sports. I'm sure 52 Tops baseball fans would have an argument there. Let's go talk about Hakeem's rookie card. This is his only rookie card. Theoretically, he has a sticker rookie card or an XRC or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to get into that argument. There are only 58 PSA 10, and here I'm going to give you a quick picture of mine. So this is my Hakeem PSA 10, and look, I'll be very clear. I'm going to be very biased on this since I own the Olajuwon and I do not own the Lamelo. So full disclosure here. I'm a big fan of 1986 Fleer. Anybody who knows me knows that. But the data is what the data is. When I make my decision at the end about which of these investments I would choose, and again, we're approaching this from a purely investor standpoint. My decision is going to be biased, but really the idea of this is for the community and the hobby to take a look and make their own decision about what would be a better investment. We're not talking about from a collector standpoint, okay? We're talking about from an investor standpoint. When you're stacking 9 cards, you're obviously talking about an investment. So all of my collector friends, don't get up in arms. Yes, you may prefer to collect the Lamelo, but we're talking about from a pure investment standpoint, which is going to be worth more a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. The stack of Olajuwon, the 9 Olajuwon rookie cards, or the 1 Lamelo ball. So that's really what we're getting at here and what I want this discussion to be about. And that's why I invite tons and tons of comments to give me your thoughts, below. Looking back at the Lamelo card, you're talking about one of his best cards. I'm thinking off the top of my head, this RPA number to 99, the Prism Black 101, the Prism Black Gold, the Prism Gold number to 10. You got your Flawless, you got your Logo Mans, then you got your more elite National Treasures number to 10 or number to 25 if those parallels exist. But ultimately, you're talking about one of LaMelo Ball's greatest rookie cards. This is the only rookie card for Hakeem Olajuwon. If you want to throw the stickers onto the pop, it's 327 plus 58. What is that? 85. So you're talking about 385 PSA 10 Olajuwon rookies in existence, even if you include the stickers. The Olajuwon is in a perfect condition grade. You cannot get a better grade than this from PSA. The LaMelo Ball is not. It's a mint condition card. The LaMelo Ball card has a beautiful 3-color patch auto. Even the most steadfast 1986 Fleer fan could not really argue the LaMelo Ball card is absolutely beautiful to look at. Going back to it, I mean, it's a multicolor patch. It's a nice, clean, centered auto, which is why I got a 10. It's just a beautiful looking card. I think most people would agree that Panini National Treasures does a great job of producing their RPAs, and this is a highly sought after card. But looking back at the Olajuwon, here are some negatives about collecting Hakeem Olajuwon, and I'm here just to point out the positives and the negatives. There's no patch, there's no auto, there's no super crazy eye appeal. There are people in the world who think that 86 Fleer is ugly. I'm not one of them, but I know they're out there. Certainly, I would agree that it doesn't compare to the visual aesthetics of the LaMelo Ball card. There's a foreign bias, or at least there used to be. When Olajuwon played, foreign players weren't as much in demand. They weren't as collectible. I think Giannis, I think Doncic, and I think a few other guys have kind of bucked that trend. Obviously, what Giannis and Doncic cards are worth and what they are doing and how highly sought after they are in the market. So I think the foreign bias that used to apply to guys like Olajuwon, I think it's out the window now. I really do. There is a big man bias. There always has been. There always will be. The only 2 big men that I can think that fetch the same type of value as some of the GOAT perimeter players throughout history are Shaq and Wilt. You can argue Bill Russell. You can sort of argue Kareem, but if you really go look at it, there's a big man bias out there. You're talking about Ewing. You're talking about Olajuwon. You're talking about guys like that who are first ballot Hall of Famers, some of the greatest centers that ever lived. Their cards just aren't worth as much as perimeter players with the same credentials. Talking about the way Olajuwon plays in that big man bias. Yeah, he was flashy for a big man. He created a move called the Dream Shake, which anybody and everybody who knows basketball has heard of. LaMelo Ball, however, I would give the nod as far as how flashy his game is and how relatable his game is. In addition to that, his off-the-court relevance and bloodlines are super, super relevant. And that's why, part of the reason why he's so collectible. People have seen the little kid since he was in middle school, shooting up, hoisting shots from 30 feet from the wrong side of his body and kicking his feet back. He's got a massive social media presence. And I'll be quite honest with you, I'm not a ball hater at all. the dude gives a great interview. He's funny, he's engaging, he's hilarious, and he just plays a very spectacular, entertaining brand of basketball. Let's move past the card specific stuff and move straight to career. This is going to be very lopsided. So from a card perspective, we've kind of looked at the cards, the sets they come from, the pop, the gem rate, the values, and things like that. And keep in mind here, we're comparing the one Lamelo Ball card for $57,600 to nine Hakeem Olajuwon PSA 10 rookie cards, not one for one. Obviously, you would take the Lamelo Ball because it's worth 9 times the amount. But let's look at their career. Lamelo Ball was the 2020 NBA Rookie of the Year. Lamelo Ball, obviously, as the Rookie of the Year, made the NBA All-Rookie team. In 2020, his rookie year, in 51 games, he did get injured, so it cost him some games. He was 15, 6, and 6 on 43, 35, 76 shooting. If you don't know what that means, 15, 6, and 6 is points, rebounds, assists. 43, 35, 76 are his percentages from the field, from the three-point line, and from the free throw line. In 2021, he's played 18 games, or at least he had at the time I filmed this video. So through 18 games, he has increased his averages very impressively to 19, 8, and 8 on 42, 39, 93% from the foul line. That's a big jump. That is an impressive jump. And there is no question that he is a very hot commodity in the market right now. As much as Zion has dipped, LaMelo has jumped. So he's kind of taken the mantle, and Anthony Edwards is producing as well, but he's sort of taken the mantle and become a super hot collectible commodity in today's market. That's it. 69 games. That's all you got to work with LaMelo. I'm sorry, there's nothing else there. The ultimate conclusion on what his career is worth is 1% finished. We got a long way to sit and wait and see what he does. And I will be the first to admit, and it's a huge part of the hobby, that's part of the allure of collecting ultra-modern players, is that you get to watch them and you get to watch their career flourish or fail. That's exciting. That's the gambling aspect. And that's what people like about collecting ultra-modern cards. And I think that's part of the reason there's such, I don't want to say a bloated premium, but there's such a premium on ultra-modern players, is because I can watch LaMelo Ball have a triple-double and watch his card prices go up, or watch him get his team to the playoffs, or watch him win a title. Olajuwon already did it. And so, the flip side is Olajuwon already did it. So I'm going to run through Olajuwon's credentials. Again, one of the most historically underrated big men in the world. First ballot Hall of Famer, 2 NBA titles, two NBA Finals MVPs. Let's flip over to card ladder, because I'm going to show you some other things on here in just a second. But 2 NBA Finals MVPs, 12-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA, 3 times led the NBA in blocks, 2 times led the NBA in rebounds. Keep in mind, this was during an era where Patrick Ewing and David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal all played basketball. So he's leading the league in blocks 3 times, rebounds 2 times. He was a 9 times all-defensive NBA team. He's arguably one of the 3 or 4 best big men defenders of all time, along with Bill Russell and a few others. He was 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was the 1993 NBA MVP. He was a 1984 All-Rookie team. He was on the NBA 50th and 75th anniversary team as the 75 greatest players ever. That's another video and another conversation about who got snubbed on that. He was 15th all-time in career rebounds, NBA, ABA combined. So top 15 in rebounds. He is top 10 all-time in steals. So for a 6'11", 7-foot guy to be 15th all-time, top 10 all-time in career steals, that is insane. He's 14th all-time in career points scored. So he's first all-time in career blocks. He has 500 more blocks than Dikembe Mutombo, who is in second place. Just to put that in perspective, how impressive it is that he's 500 blocks in the lead for the most career blocks. That is 1,000 more blocks than Shaquille O'Neal, who was the best shot blocker of his generation. Shaq would need to play 400 more games at 2.5 blocks per game to catch Olajuwon. He's played 18 years in the NBA. He's 19th all-time in PER. He is wedged in between Giannis, who is 18th, who hasn't had the downside of his career to pull his PER down like Olajuwon did. And 20th would be Dr. J, Julius Erving. He is, I think, no one would argue a top 7 or 8 center of all time. You could argue he is 4th, 5th, 6th of all time. He is unquestionably a top 20 player of all time. You could argue he is anywhere from 9 to 13. I'm not going to get into that. Again, that video could go on forever. But it's time to choose. And so I don't think it's any secret. My choice is Olajuwon. I want to hear comments. I want to hear comments about who you would choose and why. And I don't mind getting a little heated in the comments and getting a little argument going. That's what this is for people to defend their position and talk about it. I hope I don't offend whoever purchased the Lamelo Ball card. It's a beautiful card. It's an amazing card. It could be 95 grand in 3 weeks. It could be 14 grand in 3 weeks if he tears his Achilles, God forbid. But let me give you the reasons why I'm taking the lot of 9 Olajuwon cards. And you can see Card Ladder has a value on here of 54, 29, 82. I'm taking the 9 Olajuwon for a couple of reasons. Number one, Olajuwon can't get injured. There is absolutely no risk that Olajuwon can get injured. Everything he needed to do, he did it. Number two, the odds of Lamelo Ball meeting the credentials that I just listed for Hakeem Olajuwon's career: 2-time Finals MVP, 2 NBA titles, 12-time All-Star, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, NBA MVP, top 75 of all-time career blocks leader, things like that. It's just not likely. It is a 1 in 10,000 chance that he matches Olajuwon's career credentials. A big factor in determining why I would choose the Olajuwon, it's easier to sell this card. It's got a lower value, which means it's probably easier to move. You could sell it in stages, so you could cash out, as the card appreciates in value. Again, it's a 1986 Fleer card, which appeals heavily to Fleer set collectors, especially in PSA 10 condition. So there's just a huge demand for this card, and there's just more people out there that can buy the card and want to buy the card, quite honestly, since it's only $5,000 or let's say $6,000. Here's a big reason why I consider the Olajuwon. So I like buying cards after they've just gone down. I like to get into the card before the next wave, not after it. Okay. And so this card, as you can see right here on Card Ladder, in the last 1 month has gone down 36%. I want to show you something. In the last 3 months, it's gone down 14%. In the last year, it has gone down 34%. Okay. From an 8,300 to the most recent one at 5,450, like we talked about. But here's something you need to see. In the last 2 years, are you ready for this? It's up 541%. Okay. So what happened is, and what's happened with a lot of the market, is this card in 2019, this card was $700. That's incredible to me, and it makes me sick to my stomach that we didn't see this coming. It spiked all the way up to, ready for this, $25,000. Okay. And now it's come back down to 5,450. We've seen the ceiling. Let's throw the 25 out there. Okay. Let's say the ceiling is more reasonably $17,000. We saw 15,000, we saw 15,000, we saw 17,000, 16, 16. So we know where the card can get to. Okay. We know where the card can get. When you have 9 of them, you just multiply that ceiling times 9. There's just more room for growth. So Lamelo, you have 1 card, and Olajuwon, you have 9 cards. And like I said, there's something to be said for selling 2 at a time and keeping the other 7, or selling 4, keeping the other 5, and just kind of riding it out like that. It gives you flexibility. It gives you, risk aversion. There's a historical trend of this Olajuwon card going up in value. If we look at the all-time value, it's just always gone up. Yes, did it come down in the spike? Yeah, but let's take that out. Let's draw a line straight from here to here, right? So it's a slow, steady growth. If we throw out the middle finger graph, as we like to call it, let's just basically throw out the year 2020, to be quite honest with you. So if we can go back down here and just move forward, the cards just steadily increase in value. So you've got, 35 years of history of this card appreciating in value, whereas for the Lamelo, you don't have any history. But ultimately, it's just from a risk aversion standpoint, I feel like this would be the best decision. I want to know what you guys think. I want to hear what you all think. Would you rather have 9 PSA 10 Olajuwon rookie slabs in your collection, or the one Lamelo ball, beautiful, beautiful national treasures, numbered 99 RPA with a perfect autograph in the middle, in gem mint condition? Like it says right here, you guys ultimately decide. So I want to hear your thoughts, and let me know if you disagree with anything I've said or if any of my logic is flawed. If you like this video, I plan to do tons of episodes like this with just different cards. This is something you can pop into your headphones and get on the treadmill or on the bike and just kill some time. Or if you're taking a car ride, I think it's going to be entertaining and informative as well. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Click the subscribe button in the lower right corner. When you do subscribe, click the bell icon so you get notifications. I plan to drop a basketball card battles episode every single week. Usually it's going to be on a Monday. In addition, I'm going to have an Explore the Card episode where we do a deep dive immersion into a Michael Jordan insert or parallel from the 90s. Sometimes the 80s, but mostly the 90s, if you're a 90s basketball collector. So I don't want you to miss any of those episodes. Occasionally I will do box breaks, and occasionally I'll just do random videos about things that pop into my head, or ideas or investment opportunities that I think present themselves. Again, I appreciate you guys listening, and stay tuned. Comment below. Thanks. Peace.